Love, what's up,
Shit.
fight fans?
I normally have
What?
like these witty moments here where I say fun stuff and people are supposed to laugh. It's not gonna
Uh-huh.
happen. I got
Not
nothing
gonna
fun
happen.
for people to say.
No,
No,
say it.
funny.
Welcome back, guys. Experts versus the algorithm. John Batanti and Josh Moody giving it to you straight down your throat, shoving it down your throat. We're gonna give you all the inside info. It sounds funny, yeah. We're gonna we won't do that again.
Yeah.
um, Definitely want to start this week's card, even though it's going to be a downer regardless because of last week's one of the probably the biggest event of the year. I mean, I think everyone was waiting for the Islam and Oliveira fight. I don't think
There were so
anyone's
many insane.
I don't think anyone's as excited for Adesanya and Pereira, but even though that's a really good card, I think this was the big card. So we're going to get a downer this week regardless. And yeah, the card reflects that. I mean, no one's really excited for any of these fights. But I think this is an amazing betting card. I think there's a lot of value in, I think, seven out of 11 of these fights. So from a betting perspective, but definitely want to kick off and recap this UFC 280. What we saw, some thoughts. I mean, based on some of our picks, even like fight by fight, like get into some good details that I think we thought Cal Rosa, that was my best bet of the card. Even though he had to lay a price on her. I mean, she had a point taken away, but still pretty much dominated that fight. Muhammad Mokayev, as me and Josh both mentioned, like being like minus 1,500, which is pretty ridiculous if you're fighting in the UFC, unless you're fighting a guy like Mike Jackson. But you're fighting a guy with like 20 pro fights. Yeah, I don't know. That was a little. Did he dominate the fight? Yes. Did he get to finish? Yes. He also had got reversed 3 times, had his back taken, and had to fight off a rear naked choke. So if you're laying those big prices, I mean, that's fucking such a scary place to be in. But Makayev showed off his talent and he got the job done. Petrosian, AJ Dobson. AJ Dobson, unbeknownst to me, has zero fucking fight IQ. Does not listen to his coaches. Um, didn't get hit much, but clearly lost that fight. He took Petrosian down twice and then just lets him right up. Doesn't try anything, just lets him get back up where his clear path to victory was take this fucking guy down. He gets taken down a ton and whatever you have to do, ground and pound and such. But that's the fight game. That's just, you don't know what somebody's going to do in there. He was happy to, I mean, the guy walked out of the octagon unscathed pretty much his face. I mean, his striking defense was really good. But he didn't do anything to win the fight. The Nurmagomedov fight. So Cal Rosa got a point taken away for kneeing a ground opponent. And the ref walked right over to her, walked her to the middle, and, gave the little one, thing. The same ref the Abubakar Nurmagomedov fight and Omar Gadziev. And Khabib's brother did the same fucking thing, the same exact penalty, the same exact situation. Like it was a carbon copy, the same ref and everything. And the ref does not take the point away. He just walks over and says his first name and says, Abubakar, I don't want to see that anymore. So what the fuck? Yeah, come on. That's not home cooking. I mean, Nurmagomedov was going to win the fight anyway, I think. He was probably going to win a majority decision based on the final scorecards, but come on. If his last name's not Nurmagomedov and Khabib's not in his corner, that guy gets a point taken away, and it changes things. You don't know what happens after that in the third round. Nikita Krylov is fucking.
I hadn't even considered like the judge being an issue. Like
So I have another point to that, and I don't want to skip past these fights because I think there's a lot to recap. They were really good. Like Mahmoud Muradov was a disappointment too. He didn't show good fight IQ or
yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought Godziev looked really good.
He made Kaio look really good. I don't know about that.
Even in
Sean,
loss.
Sean Brady. Disappointed with that performance. He's a little, he's been out. I thought he'd be a little rusty, but I mean, getting stopped by Bilal is just a bad look. The first round was really close. I didn't think, like the way Bilal didn't shoot. Brady was shooting, but Bilal's a great wrestler. So he defended well. He wanted to keep the fight on the feet, and somehow all of a sudden, like two top guys from the Philly area just got KO, stepping up a competition and didn't look too good. Like I expect a little more out of Brady, but he's been away for a while.
Who else from Philly got knocked out?
Sabatini got finished like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh, okay, I got you.
In his first, stepping up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Chukagi and Fioro, terrible fight. Benil. I thought Benil Dari. That was Krylov Ozdemir was the really good fight, but Benil and Gamrot I thought Benil was really impressive. And I wanted to see Benil and Islam. Go ahead. What you're saying? Sorry.
No. That was an incredible fight. That was my favorite fight to watch.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I loved it too, being an MMA nerd. But maybe to the fan might not like it so much. But I thought some of the scrambles you saw there were fucking amazing and elite of the elite. Like Dariush, both of them. Gamrot just trying to get takedowns, and Dariush's defense and get up game. Like I thought it was really good. Like being working in the industry and stuff, like I'm always following, and I'm working that day, following the live line. And yeah, like the judges on that scorecard too, reading, I think there were 230-27s, and that was nothing of what the live line was. I mean, Gamrot looked like he won the first round to me, and also to the bookies. I mean, Gamrot was minus 400. He was a 2-1 favorite before the fight, and he went to minus 425 after the first round. So they're pretty confident that he won the first round on 2 out of 3 judges' scorecards. That's why. And that was not the case. But I thought, if any round, he definitely didn't win the second and third round. Like I don't think. But I thought he was
good in round one. I don't remember him looking victorious in round one either.
I thought he won the first round. And so did the book.
Watch it.
It was definitely. I mean, I thought Dariush all around was coming off. He definitely had an ACL, like some injuries, and the guy's always passed over. And he's just a fucking veteran, a tough ass veteran, and he gets passed over. His style's not amazing, but I think he's underrated everywhere. I think he's underrated in striking, his ground game, and I think he's the toughest fight for Makhachev going forward as of now. But that depends, if Volkanovski actually fights Makhachev, it changes things. But then we get to the Petr Yan Sean O'Malley fight. So referee in that fight didn't matter really, but I don't know who it is. The judges, I don't know any of these judges in Abu Dhabi. Like I've never seen them before or heard their names. So they picked their own judges, and I'm definitely not saying the fight was rigged, but there's been a lot of talk about that. And I don't know. I mean, to me, Yan won that fight unanimously. I don't know. I mean, I'm not watching with bias. It's just like, I don't see how O'Malley won the fight. But it was definitely, I could see it being close.
It live, I felt like O'Malley won the fight.
Okay.
And then I don't remember what else I was doing. I think both kids were my responsibility in that moment or something like that. So I went and I rewatched it, and I fell asleep right at the start of the third round. But I went into the third round feeling like O'Malley won.
How did you fall asleep with that fight?
It was like 12:30 at night or whatever when I read your message that made me rewatch it.
Did you see Yan knock O'Malley down?
Did I see Yan knock O'Malley down? I'm all of a sudden not remembering this, but I did that.
It was round 1 or 2. I can't remember exactly when it was. I want to say it
I
was
remember
round 2.
wobbling him, but I don't remember him knocking him down.
He knocked him down, and somehow
Did
it
he?
wasn't scored a knockdown, but he knocked Sean, like he knocked him down, like his ass hit the ground. Like I don't, and it was not scored a knockdown. It might have. I think it was round 2, because then he just O'Malley was stung, and Jan was able to control him on the mat pretty much for the rest of round 2. But I don't.
Round 2 is the round that Jan had the most
Yeah, he won.
ground control, but he also had 3 takedowns in that round. So
Yeah, he had. I think he had like 7 or 8 for the whole fight. Um, yeah, Jan's takedown game is very good. Um, I don't think he doesn't really stay on top unless he feels O'Malley's really long and tricky. So I feel like he didn't want to get position reversed. So I feel like if people are asking why didn't he stay on top, why didn't he do this, I feel that's why.
I don't think he didn't stay on top. I think
No,
Sean.
O'Malley got. No, O'Malley definitely earned his way up a few times, but he definitely disengaged a few times too. But yeah, I mean, there's no going back and changing it. But I don't know. That was for Jan to lose. I think Jan's lost 3 out of his past 4 fights, and he's way too talented for that. The Aljamain Sterling fight didn't surprise me. I could have seen that was legit, very close. Yeah, but that fight, I don't know. Yeah, that was, like I said, I don't recognize the judges, and the ref doesn't give Nurmagomedov away, and Abu Dhabi owns a piece of Endeavor and UFC, so I don't know. It's much better if O'Malley won that fight, isn't it? They get it's much better for them business if O'Malley won the fight. So I don't know. Maybe it was a little too. Maybe Jan had to do a lot to win that fight. I think people just don't like Jan in general. He comes off as like an asshole, cocky. Maybe that's got something to do with it too. But hey, that's it. We've got to move forward. Sterling Dillashaw. So another crazy thing about betting, especially in MMA, there are no fucking injury reports unless you know someone in this guy's camp or have like a legit source. Like you're never gonna know that this guy had that type of an injury because it just doesn't. There's nothing. There's no report. Nothing. Did they go through medical exams and stuff? Yeah. But it's.
As someone who's been through those medical exams, that wouldn't show up. At all.
Yeah, I imagine
not even almost. Wouldn't even come close.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for then after the fight, the line for the fight when they walked to the cage, like Sterling was like minus 170. If you knew TJ Dillashaw had this severe of an injury, and even if that, Sterling would probably be minus 2,000. And if you knew that, you would fucking unbuckle and bet your 401k on Sterling.
Yeah, dude. If TJ
how's he losing? Like,
if TJ didn't tell somebody to bet the house,
I don't know. Maybe I don't know, but
no way he thought he was going to win that fight.
And then he admits it, like on Catlin thing, like, yeah, I heard it thing, I knew about it. He said on the interview that I told the ref in the locker room, my shoulder is fucked. It's gonna pop out. Please let me try to continue.
Yeah,
and they did that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and they did that.
And he was going to win that fight. There's no way.
No, you can't win. Like, how are you going to win? Like, you're literally like, you're not going to. And it's just the type of fight it is too. It's guys that like to wrestle. Like, it's going to get popped out. Like, it's crazy. I mean, and there's I saw a lot of things like is Dillashaw, and now people think he's more of a scumbag for doing that. Like he hit it and get it and got his way into a title fight. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that. It's tough.
Dude.
Fighters want to fight. Like, I don't know why he would go through with it. If
money.
Yeah, that's the point too. I guess he just want to get
6 months. He's had 2 fights in like 4 years.
Yeah, and he definitely gets paid well.
He's on the back end of his career.
Yeah.
When's he going to have this opportunity again?
He's not. Probably not. Yeah, he's got to go with it. I agree with that.
Fixed to be a year before. Like he said, I didn't want to have to wait a year to have this opportunity again.
Yeah, but you can't win.
Yeah, but he got paid,
Yeah.
and now his name is in the news. Right?
He'll
Like, oh,
get paid again next time because now everyone
right.
will want to see him get killed like Jake Paul or something. He's like, oh, we got to
Yeah.
add that this week.
Oh,
Yeah, and then main event, Olives and Makhachev. Yeah, I mean the fight kind of first round went like I thought, or if you follow, like Oliveira was not going to be afraid to pull guard, and go through and fight the way he fights. Oliveira, it's just the way he fights, that shoot box style. Like he's coming forward, he's not going to change anything. That didn't surprise me at all. Um, Islam stood his ground, and Oliveira didn't take any bad shots. He just, he just got he didn't really do his submission. The first round didn't work. He didn't really get hurt that bad, but in the second round, I think Islam had two takedowns, and Oliveira got caught in an arm triangle. The second one, and that was it. That was the end of the fight. Islam definitely countered well. Oliveira sloppy, but I think we knew that about him. That's part of his style. He's very open. Worked his last four fight. Well, it's worked 13 fights in a row. But uh, unfortunately, Islam was very technical. Oliveira, if he was going to win the fight and catch it, it was probably going to be later or earlier or late. Like he wasn't. Just didn't. Yeah, Islam's the champ. It worked out. Didn't work out for Oliveira, but pretty unappealing. But I think we saw two great fights out of those five. Whenever there's a mega stack card, it kind of tends to disappoint. But the Beneil and Gamrot fight and O'Malley they were great fights in my opinion.
absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. All right. So coming up this week,
All right, first fight of the
Caleb
night.
versus Allen.
C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez against Joshua
Fighting
Weems.
I don't know him. He's fighting
Yeah,
up.
he was he's Rufus Sport for his whole career. I think he just changed camps for this fight to get a little different like tutelage. But he's he's been I think he's probably the biggest prospect from your area. He's very well respected.
I've seen this
We
kid fight.
Oh, you seen him fight?
I think I fought on this card with him.
What? So funny.
Keep going.
No. Weems stepping in to take the fight on short notice. So Christian Rodriguez actually stepped up on short notice and moved up a weight class to fight JSP, Jonathan Pierce, who pushes a tremendous pace, wrestle heavy. Rodriguez really held his own in that fight. I think he surprised a lot of people because Pierce was like a huge favorite, minus 500, minus 600. And Rodriguez definitely, I think he had one really good guillotine attempt. Pierce was able to get out of it, defend it. But I think if Paul Felder was talking during the broadcast how he knows personally that Rodriguez is no joke. Like his ground game and wrestling are really good. And he showed it. I mean, he was to step up on short notice against JSP and, you lose the decision, but you went the distance in a fight you're supposed to get finished in. No, but he had moments too. He showed some good striking. He looked good. Weems, hit or miss. Don't really know what we're getting with him. Believe he got booted. I think his UFC fights are. Who did he fight last time? Wide open Weems.
Yeah, what is that?
So 10-2. Where did he go? Oh, that's right. He got knocked out against. So we got knocked out against Fernie Garcia on the Contender Series, which doesn't age well either. I don't think Fernie Garcia is in the UFC right now.
Yes, he is. He only had one fight. You think he got cut after that one fight that lost to Journey Newsom?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. I'm not sure.
Oh,
Like this fight
that's
was.
oh yeah.
Okay. This fight was just last year. I thought it said 2020. Okay. So Fernie, yeah, and then he came back. He won 2 fights, both by finish. He definitely likes to wrestle and get the fight down. Most of his wins in UFC, he does boxing too and bare knuckle MMA. But so his MMA fights, a lot of it, most of his wins are by submissions. One thing that sticks out as I'm looking at Rodriguez's fights, and I feel like Weems has fought up until the Pierce fight. I mean, Weems has fought better competition than Rodriguez, in my opinion. Like Rodriguez has some questionable guys on his. I know he looked really good, and he's a big prospect, but I don't know. He's fought some questionable guys. 6-9, 2-0, 19-36. That's it. 19-36. Wow, that's a lot of fights. But he's definitely high respected, and maybe people just, they brought him up slow, which you should do. But I don't know. It's he's got a heavy price tag in this fight. He's minus 350, which I don't really agree with.
Those fights aren't questionable. That's a totally this was done. This is a well managed career.
Oh yeah, could be. Yeah, definitely. Maybe I want to see more. You kind of want to see more, maybe quicker finishes. But he did win in round 1, his first couple fights. So we'll give him that, and he usually finds a way. He got fast hands. His hands are fast. He throws combos. He has good combos. You saw that in the Pierce fight. His wrestling seems really good too. Weems, if anything, it looks he definitely. I know he's got 2 losses on his record, but I dug a little deeper, and he gets knocked down a lot. So he gets hurt. His chin is questionable. He does like to push a high pace, and also likes to wrestle. So we will see some wrestling in this. And it's hard to tell who's going to get tired, who isn't. Even though you have pretty good data because C-Rod went 15 minutes with JSP. Did he get gassed? Yeah, eventually. But he was also moved up a weight class on short notice against a really good grappler. So, we'll see what happens. But C-Rod, would I lay the price with him? No, but you can stuff him in parlays and look for finish props. I mean, I think C-Rod eventually probably gets a finish. Whether that be by submission or TKO, I'm not sure. But
I have no idea who Joshua Williams is. You gave me so much more information than I would have had. I'm also going with C-Rod, but only because he's from Milwaukee.
That's it. All right. That's cool. Why not? Cody Durden, second fight of the night, who we've seen in UFC against Carlos Mota, who's coming up from the LFA. So Mota stepping in on shorter notice. Durden's opponent, original opponent, got canceled, and he stayed on the card, and he's going to fight Carlos Mota, who's no joke. Carlos Mota is actually the favorite, small favorite in this fight. Yeah, what I've seen about Cody Durden is he definitely his last fight was a really good performance. Got the finish. Cody Durden,
he's not a bad fighter.
He's a fucking badass in the first round, though. He's a beast in the first round. Yeah, he's a first round beast. He's fucking tough in the first round. He comes out high pace, wrestling, strikes, he wants to get you out of there. He's definitely tough in the first round. Mota has 1 loss. I think it was a decision loss to Charles Johnson, who we saw fight Muhammad Mokaev a few fights ago, and he showed a lot of class in that fight. Just to hang in the fight. Did he lose all 3 rounds? Yeah, but he didn't get destroyed. He didn't get submitted against one of the best guys out there. So. That's something to say. And then Mota did win the LFA belt last time. I think he got a first round finish. I think the thing that sticks out is his explosive striking early, explosive powers. He can knock you out, but so can Durden. Durden's got some power, so I think you're going to see fireworks in this first round because both guys like to get after it, and I don't think that's going to stop with two unranked guys that fighting on a fight night, the second fight of the night. I think they're just going to fucking go for it. I'm going to take Durden just because I've seen him fight. He's fought much better competition, in my opinion. So I think he can win 2 out of 3 rounds and kind of his footwork too. His footwork, I think, is what's going to give Moda problems. He's not just going to stand there and get hit. He's pretty well rounded. So I got Durden.
I don't ever want to pick the guy who has 0 UFC fights against the guy who's been around. That being said, I also don't want to pick Durden because you speak super highly of him every time he fights. And every time he fights, I'm like, And now maybe that's just because I've seen him lose two of the 3 times I've seen him fight. Oh no, I guess he won 2 of the 3 times I've seen him fight. But just you even gone as far as telling me, oh, here's a fighter that you love. I know you love this guy, and then just
who?
Cody Durden.
I told you loved Cody Durden.
You did last time he fought when he beat JP Buys. You were all excited. Anyways, I'm picking Durden, but begrudgingly.
All right.
Only because Mota has no UFC experience. That's a big enough. Often enough, that is a big enough change to be worth changing a pick over.
Yeah. Moving to the next fight, we got Chase Hooper, Steve Garcia. I think this is a great matchup for Hooper. I like what they did with him after. I feel like he's really young, really talented, but they kind of rushed him up. Rushed him up in a sense like he wasn't ready to take on the fighters that. And then he took a break, and he's coming back now for another run. He's still very young. Really long. Incredible grappling skills. Like his so long. Like his jiu-jitsu is like really good, and the way he can flip positions. You should grapple Chase Hooper because you guys would probably be a good match. And so Hooper came back last time. He ended up getting a finish against a guy that I think we talked. I said like I think Chase Hooper could finish this motherfucker. And it's one of the ones we were right about. Steve Garcia seems like he just can't help but first round, he's all business. He's had some first round performances, big first round performances. Other than that, it's like he pretty much always gets put in a really bad position and ends up losing the fight. Chase Hooper's really durable. I've seen the fucking kid take a beating, getting cracked, but he's very durable. He's never been finished, I don't think. Not from strikes. He's never been finished from strikes. So Steve Garcia has to win this fight in the first round because it's hard for me to not see Hooper getting his back eventually. So I'm going to go with Hooper.
So I had a whole thing I was about to say, and all the words in my head jumped out. So Steve Garcia's UFC victory is over a guy who's no longer in the UFC, to my knowledge. His loss, one of them is to Luis Pena, who got cut after this victory.
That's Bob Ross, the Bob Ross guy, right?
Yeah, that's Not So Violent Bob Ross.
Was that actually his nickname?
His actual moniker is Violent Bob Ross. But he's not Violent Bob Ross, which is a damn good moniker.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But he's not that action-oriented. Anyways. And then Steve Garcia's most recent fight was against Mahashate, that 1-year-old, 22-year-old Chinese guy.
Yeah, he got fucking served. Yep.
He got knocked out cold.
Steve Garcia was the favorite for that fight. I think we both had Mahashate too.
He's coming back faster than the kid that knocked him out. His brain's not going to be ready.
He said
that's serious. That's not funny.
Brain's not gonna be ready. Come
Dude,
on, they give him tests. They test him out. I don't
like,
know. Maybe not. Maybe not mentally, but physically, I'm sure he's passed the test. Or
I'm telling you, his brain's not ready.
really. All
The
right.
dude got knocked unconscious.
Well, then
That
we
dude,
should
not,
really bang Chase Hooper because he's gonna win
oh,
this thing.
Chase
Yeah.
Hooper might knock him out. Does Chase Hooper have any knockouts?
Yeah. His last fight he got a TKO. But as far as like one punch knockouts, no. But volume knockout, he got a volume stoppage last time, which was
He
good. He
got
held position.
did the Daniel Tamer too. Yeah, I bet you he TKOs this guy.
Yeah, I like that too. And you always get great odds on a Hooper TKO KO because he's a submission specialist with no power. So even though he opened up minus 180, which stuck out to me, I was unable to get a book to take that action. But now he's like minus 320,
It's
which is
320.
yeah,
I
well,
mean,
that's about right. He should crush. I mean, this is set up for him.
yeah,
So yeah, I guess
like
we both got Hooper.
just like any other injury, your brain takes time to heal.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Your brain's not healed yet.
And it's not really something where you might pass tests medically and be like, okay, well, your brain worked, like thing, but that doesn't. What's actually going on inside your brain and your head? It's hard to fucking know. And then once you get hit again, like what happened? You might shake up. Like I got a fucking terrible back spasm yesterday, and I'm like, oh, it's like I can't put my shirt on for 24 hours until I go see my therapist. It's what happens when you get hit again. That's it. You might just fucking go into shock and get knocked out and say, I don't want to be here.
Yeah. Anyway, the
All
ugly
right.
man, Joseph Holmes. This dude's had
Joseph Home with the mustache. Yeah, that's good. He's it's the Iron Turtle, Jung Yong Park, who we last saw, got a bullshit split decision because I had Eric Anders that fight. Yeah. So the ugly man, his loss, Jamie Pickett. Yeah, he was definitely not ready for a 15-minute fight against a UFC guy and against Jamie Pickett, and that showed. I mean, he had nothing in the second round, third round. I mean, he was stunk. And he was favored in that fight, probably to finish Jamie Pickett. Yeah. Came back last time against a matchup that if he didn't win by finish, he has no business being in an MMA fighter, and he did the job. Now he's going to fight John Young Park, who's a minus 250 favorite, and I just really have a hard time saying back that. I know the loss against Pickett looks bad, but Joseph Holmes is a big prospect. Is his wrestling amazing? No. His takedowns are good, but his jiu-jitsu is fucking awesome. Is his striking amazing? No. Is John Young Park striking amazing? Fuck no. He'll throw combos, just like Holmes will. The thing that sticks out is Holmes has a 7-inch reach advantage, which I think is going to play a big part here. Also, John Young Park's wrestling the last fight against Anders. He struggled. Eric Anders is a strong guy, though. But he struggled. Anders took him down. He held him against the fence. So I think Joseph Holmes has ways to win this fight. I think he doesn't need that. I don't think he needs that many takedowns to do something. And I think that reach advantage against Jun Young Park, who is not known for his knockout, I think the ugly man can. I think the ugly man can get back on the win the hype train here, and I think he's good. I think he wins this fight. I'm going to take him. So I guess our best bet's going to be Hooper. Tonight, my underdog. I got Joseph Holmes. I think he wins this fight.
I was going to pick Joseph Holmes, but I refuse to have this many picks overlapping. So I'm picking the Iron Turtle under the full assumption that I will be losing this pick.
No, he's minus 240. He's the favorite. You should.
Okay, I think the ugly man's going to win. Now that being said, I've only seen the guy fight I've only seen him fight live once, and then I watched a little bit of his film. And the fight that he won live, he looked really good, but that guy has not won a single fight in the UFC, that opponent. So, 4 losses and beating the guy who's 0-4 in the UFC is not.
Yeah.
something for me to build his reputation off of. But I do think he's going to win. But I can't pick him.
No, hey, understandable.
Can't do it. Nope.
All right, next one. We got Andre, the Ageless Wonder Arlovsky against Marcos Rogerio de Lima, or Marcos Rofato de Lima, as you call him. He's yeah. Yeah, I mean, Arlovsky, he's won 4 in a row. I mean, the guy takes fights he can win, and all his style. He wants to fight on the feet, and yeah, he's out there getting fights and he's winning them. Rogero de Lima, the book on him is get him down. He's a fish out of water. He won't be able to get back to his feet. And he'll get tired in the second or third round. But his last fight, which he did end up losing, a split decision against Ivanov, who's a really good wrestler, and Ivanov couldn't get him down that easy. Is Arlovsky going to take him down? No, I don't think Arlovsky's going to try that route at all. He wants to keep the fight on the feet and just outpoint you at this point in his career, as he's done the last 4 wins. So I don't know. The thing I don't like, I feel like Arlovsky is he didn't get put out the last fight, but he definitely got control of the fence and ate a lot of strikes against what's his name? The guy who really Collier, who's fucking I don't know what to make of Jake Collier. But Jake Collier was that was a questionable split decision fight. But Arlovsky got the win. De Lima, I think, can follow that. I think De Lima hits harder than these guys too. I think it might not take much. I think De Lima might, if he gets him against the fence, he might unload, and it might not take that many bombs to finish Arlovsky. So I'm going to go with De Lima, but I don't expect much out of this fight.
I too believe this will be a boring fight. However, I'm not the worst heavyweight in the UFC.
Jake Collier?
No, I think De Lima is worse than Jake Collier.
I don't think anyone's worse than Jake Collier.
De Lima actually belongs at heavyweight, and Jake Collier doesn't. But I believe that Jake Collier is a significantly better fighter than De Lima. I think Arlovsky is going to make De Lima look real bad, real bad. And you might see some silliness out of Arlovsky with a takedown where you're like, what the hell? When did Arlovsky learn that?
How is he taking this guy down? No, he's too big.
That's exactly the point.
But yeah, well, that's your underdog of the night because De Lima's about minus the same price as Park over Joseph Holmes. So this is your upset. Yeah.
Oh, for real. I like this. This is legit. This is an Arlovsky fight through and through.
Yeah.
There's no way Arlovsky loses. So let's hold on. Let's take a look at this real quick. So Arlovsky beats Collier, Bandera, Felipe, and Chase Sherman. All right, loses to Tom Aspinall, super prospect.
Yeah.
Tanner Boser, who at that point was a pretty big prospect.
Yeah.
Felipe Lins, who's solid, loses to Jairzinho Rosenstrike. At that point, super prospect.
Yeah.
Beats Brendan Rothwell, super old school dude. Loses to Sakai, who we thought was a super prospect, and Tuivasa, who we thought was a super prospect. Like the only people that beat him are guys that are like going to shoot up to the top 5 or look like they're about to. Not dudes that have been in the UFC for 6 years and haven't done anything with it.
True.
This is an Arlovsky fight through and through. There's so much film on this guy, and he trains at ATT, which means there's literally hours of film.
They both train at ATT, which is so I guess.
Yeah, his coaches are gonna know exactly what this guy does. Exactly.
They both should.
Yeah. And that's all all he needs. Like, he just got good at strategy and is able to continue fighting forever. 100%. This is an Arlovsky fight.
Let's do it. I respectfully disagree. I think he's had 4 Arlovsky fights. I don't know if this will be a 5th, but Arlovsky knows how to pick opponents, so we'll see.
You think he's picking? Yeah, he should be.
Yeah, I mean, he's just hanging around. I mean, it's fucking awesome. The guy's like 43, 44, and he's winning fucking fights.
He's still his UFC title or die trying.
I don't. No, he knows he can't win the title. No, he's bullshitting with you. I mean, this guy's the veteran of veterans on the roster. He's got to be in the top. He's got to be in a high pay grade because he just has so much experience and he's around. So,
I guess he's not ranked in the top 15 anymore.
No, he hasn't been for a while. But that's. I mean, he probably makes bank considering he probably think of anyone not ranked in the top 15 in the whole company. Arlovsky probably makes the most per fight, right? I would say he's got to be up there.
600,000 to fight.
How much?
Like 600,000 or some crazy number.
Yeah, that's a ton.
To show.
Like 300 and 300, or maybe he just gets the flat rate.
No. That's to show. I don't know if he has a win bonus or not.
No, he won't. If it's that high, if it's 600, he won't have a win bonus. It's just flat 600.
But it's something stupid high like
he can win fight of the night or performance of the night bonus, but he won't.
So his disclosed base in 2020 was 325.
Yeah, so he's going
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be his 7th fight since then. There's no way he's still on that
he's
contract.
Fucking genius. He's the smartest fighter in the fucking world.
Yeah. He's making at least $400,000 a fight.
Yeah, he's fucking smart. He knows he's not going to get knocked out. He's fucking smart.
A couple fights before that, he was making 300, but that was when he was in that streak of losses.
All right, next we got Phil Hawes versus Roman Dolidze. Yeah, Phil Hawes coming in minus 180 favorite in this fight. Phil Hawes looked good his past few fights. The thing with me is like those are fights that he was definitely supposed to win and had major advantages. Phil Hawes is a very disappointing favorite so far in his career. He's mega talented. But the big thing is his chin. You know, his chin is always like, it doesn't matter where you are in the fight. Like it's, you know, if you catch Phil Hawes, catch his chin and, you know, he's suspect. Roman Dolidze, last fight, definitely surprised people with the way he handled Kyle Dawkins, first round knockout. Phil Hawes is a really good wrestler. Roman Dolidze is a really good wrestler. The thing for me is Dolidze, he is a counter striker. And that's, I think, what gives Phil Hawes problems because eventually he's going to find his chin. Phil Hawes likes to throw down. He's going to have to throw down because he's not just going to take Dolidze down, who's a great wrestler. He's Georgian, right? Dolidze, I think. But he's a really good Ukrainian, okay. I thought he repped Georgia.
He does rep Georgia.
But he's a really good wrestler.
Yes.
And I just see Dolidze. I see Dolidze hurting Hawes eventually. Like I don't know where of the fight, but I just think I can't trust Phil Hawes like minus 180, you know, personally. And like after digging deeper, I think Dolidze is a little underrated. I think Phil Hawes is a little overrated. So I'm gonna go with Dolidze for the small upset.
I wish you weren't, because you're right. Dolidze's definitely gonna beat Phil Hawes.
Are you just gonna reverse this and you end up with every favorite?
Yes, we're just gonna have a card today. Oh no,
Jesus.
Give. Phil, like you said, like Phil Hawes wins fights that he's kind of supposed to win. Like who are these last couple fights? Duran win, yeah, he really should have won that.
Yeah.
I would have no. He should not have beaten Dawkins or Imavov.
Who?
Phil Hawes. Yeah,
No,
he
he
should have.
fought really good. He fought really good against Kyle that fight, and he surprised a lot of people because he switched a lot of things up. He took his time. He didn't gas out. Like he did work on a lot of things that you saw in that fight. Um, but yeah, he definitely got a. Kyle did clip him though. Kyle stunned him for a little bit. I think round two, but Phil Halls was just a little too much for him. And he got the win.
Yeah, I Phil Hawes hasn't looked great in the fights that I've seen him in. Even though on paper he should be some super freak,
Yeah,
and Roman Dolidze has looked incredible. In I've seen almost every one of his UFC fights. I feel like I missed that John Allen fight or the Trevin Giles fight. Uh, but everything else I've seen from this guy's been ridiculous. So yeah, Roman Dolidze, let's do it.
let's do it. Justin Jacoby versus Khalil Roundtree. So this, if you follow the betting line on this fight, like Justin Jacoby was as low as like minus 125 against Khalil Roundtree, who to me is like, I mean, Khalil Roundtree, like I don't know, like I don't know what to make of him, but he's Justin Jacoby's been doing really well lately. He's very tall. He's going to have a reach advantage on everyone. The reason the betting line is going to be close is this is definitely a striker versus striker matchup. And Khalil Roundtree is going to be more explosive. Like Jacoby is definitely, he likes a slower pace. He likes to outpoint you. He's got good combos. He's well-rounded striker. Where Roundtree is just, I'm going to explode. I'm going to take your fucking head off, and I'm going to knock you out. Um, so with that being said, you have to look at that angle. Then look into the fight deeper, a little deeper. Yeah, I just can't back Khalil Roundtree. I mean, he's perfectly capable of winning this fight, but Jacoby's just been tough lately. I mean, he's been proven. He's passed every test, and his last fight against underrated guy Daun, what's his Daun Daun Young, who's a really good light heavyweight, and he was taking it to Jacoby in that fight. And Jacoby showed that he's got some power. Like he doesn't always have to lead a dance. He ate it for a little while, but he knocked out Daun Young, which was the first knockout of loss of Daun Young's career, I believe. And Daun Young's very good, very respect. Daun Young's no joke. He's a favorite in almost all of his fights. So I'm going to keep going with Jacoby. I'm not going to Khalil Roundtree. Just I feel like he's a guy that'll just. I feel like he's gonna Jacoby. He doesn't knock Jacoby out early. Jacoby's gonna get the better of him. I feel Khalil Roundtree might mentally just shut down. He's not in this fight. I think Jacoby coasts for a decision
Hmm. Yeah, Jacoby's definitely the smarter pick here. Khalil doesn't win decisions by and large. He has
Yeah, that
won
backs up kind of my
somebody.
analysis.
He's very much a killer be killed kind of dude. Eric Anders is his only decision win. How did that fight happen? How did that happen? Anyways, he goes balls to the wall. Oh, he lost a decision to Marcin Prachnio. And either he finishes or he gets finished for the most part. 3 decision wins, 4 decision fights, 5 decisions, 6 decisions in like 20 fights or something like that. Like the dude does a lot of finishes. But I don't see him finishing Dustin Jacoby. Dustin Jacoby has 23 MMA fights, but he's also got like 15 kickboxing fights against some of the best in the world, and they weren't knocking him out. So I don't expect him to get knocked out by the dude whose name just completely got deleted from my brain. What's your name? Khalil. Ooh, yeah, Khalil Roundtree. Warhorse. What's a Hanyak?
Fucking really good question. I don't think I've ever looked at it. Oh, there is nothing, and I did try it. there is no like nothing in the dictionary of a hanya, and he won't tell anyone what it means. It's probably just something stupid like guys like like play on words from like either his boys or the boys in the gym or something. It's probably our old nickname. Who knows?
Anyways, Josh Fremd versus Trayshawn Gore.
Yeah, another one interesting. So Josh Fremd, I think the most we saw him show his durability off against Fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get submitted in that fight. And Fluffy's been fighting really well. Fluffy's been fucking dudes up lately. So yeah, Fremd. I mean, he hung in there. And I remember that was a tough. I think we both had Fluffy to finish that fight. So much. Unfortunately for my parlay, Josh Fremd was just too fucking tough. And hung in there. But yeah, I think this is a good matchup though. Was that his first UFC fight? Yeah, that was his first UFC fight. But other than that, I mean, Josh Fremd's solid. Got knocked out to Gregory Rodriguez, but that's okay. That's not the worst thing. He lost to two UFC caliber fighters, like two good UFC caliber fighters. That's fine. That's more than Trayshawn Gore's done. Trayshawn Gore, prospect, knocked out Gilbert Urbina on the Ultimate Fighter, and then fought Brian Battle. Brian Battle was able to win that fight, control him for a little bit, maybe a lot of it, and then his next fight against Cody Brundage, he was favored, and he had some moments, but eventually, like Brundage, Trayshawn was afraid of the takedowns, and he ate an overhand and got knocked out first round. Like you can definitely see the athletic. Like Gore's strong, he's athletic. I don't know if I don't know. It doesn't seem like he has the learned like grappling chops yet to fight or fight IQ to win at this level. But you can definitely see his ability. He's definitely got fast hands. Yeah, I don't know. Like, kind of want to, question his durability. Like, he was tired against Brian Battle, and Brian Battle was able to control him and beat him up on the cage in the second half of that fight. He got knocked out against Cody Brundage, who is not known for his power punching, but he's a solid fighter. So I feel like there's too many questions around Gore just to back him, and I'm going to take Fremd by default. I don't know. What do you think? You might have a better read than me on this.
I'm not taking him by default. I'm taking him because I actually like his game a lot. He's really, really long. He's got good, clean, straight punching. He's a solid grappler. I don't know a ton about his skills actually on the mat, but his wrestling skills are pretty good. I saw him fight outside the UFC, and I thought he looked really good. And was not surprised at all when he made it to the UFC. I actually like a lot of what I see out of Trayshawn Gore as well, despite the fact that he keeps losing. I do have hopes that he'll pull himself together.
It shows talent. It definitely shows talent. I feel like, but this is definitely pressure on these guys for this fight, because I think this is just like whoever wins this is going to prove they belong here, and the loser's probably not coming back. But we'll see. I mean, this will be Gore's third loss in UFC. This will be Fremd's second. I don't know anything about their contracts, or whatever. Or if maybe they don't have a contract, they're just filling in the fight. I don't know. But if they're fighting each other, they fight
have a contract. But the UFC can cut you after any loss.
They can.
They can cut you after a loss, any loss.
Even if you have like a three fight contract, they can just say you're done. Like,
oh yeah, they can terminate it at any time. The contract is only valid on one side. They
come on, Dana.
Dude.
Stop it.
Dude, the more you hear about it, the more.
Well, no, you've heard like a little bit. Yeah, like no one's ever showing the fine print. But yeah, you hear it's like it's completely like ridiculous. They just own you. I mean, and in their defense, you know, I was thinking like if you work for major companies, it's mostly the same fucking way. You know, like it's mostly just like we can fire you at any time. Like we don't need
Huh?
this, that. You
When
know, so,
you work for someone,
yeah,
you're their employee,
yeah.
not when you're an independent contractor.
But don't even independent contractors get signed for and have contract for certain things like 3-month deals, 6-month deals out of this, whatever you're gonna do. You can be a freelance mathematician and they sign you like a 4-month
These aren't
deal to
3-month deals. These are multiple year deals, and they almost never sign a deal for less than 4 fights.
okay.
Maybe never less than 3 fights,
Yeah.
but like, dude, it's
Well,
like 7 years before they expire or 10 years before they expire. Some crazy number.
yeah.
Anyways, all right.
Anyways,
Our
we got
next
Josh
fight.
Fram. All right. Waldo Cortez Acosta against Jared Vandera. I just see you filling out Waldo like right away. No questions. I'm taking Waldo. So being on the sharper side of a better, like the thing that sticks out for me is Waldo Cortez Acosta only opened up as like a -170 favorite against Jared Vandera. That's fucking scary because people fight Jared Vandera, they're like -500. Outside of Orlovsky, like that was almost a pick'ems. But yeah, I mean Vandera is obviously a
Got
guy that
no
just
UFC fights.
Waldo.
Yeah, this is his
No,
first
he just
UFC.
he had a contender series win.
That's whatever.
No, I know he is no legit. I'm not being a smartass.
Nah,
Yeah,
it's like
but he's Vandera's a guy who at this point I don't even know, like heavyweight division's pretty weak outside of the top five. So he can fill fights. He can fill fights. He can fill a card. They obviously pick him to win fight. He's kind of like your homecoming in high school. Like you want your weakest opponent. Like you want to kick ass on your homecoming. Uh, yeah, Vandera's that guy right now, and so to be that guy, like you should be more favored though over this. Like like you definitely like I don't know, it sticks out right away as like this is something where the betting public they're gonna back. No one's gonna back Jared Vandera. But Waldo Cortez Acosta, what have we seen out of him? I don't know. He was a big favorite. His contender series fight. He got a finish. He's got fast hands, and he knocked him out. Like that's all I've seen. Jared Vandera is much more well rounded than that. So am I really gonna pick Jared Vandera? I mean, he's got to win. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I don't know. I feel like this is the spot where, and this isn't even my. I mean, yeah, I love my underdog of the night was the Ugly Man. Yeah, I like him. I like that much more for other reasons, than Vandera is just. I don't know. Like no one's gonna bet Jared Vandera. Like Waldo, he should be way higher than this. So that tells me that they're not that confident in his skill set. Whoever's setting, the bookies are not that confident in this guy's skill set. So maybe Vandera gets a win. All right.
Nope. Cortez Acosta. Not even telling you why. Move on.
No, you don't have to. Next fight. We'll see. We'll see it. Trust me.
I'm gonna fly right in the face.
Co-main.
Never had a UFC fight, but he's gonna win this one.
Yeah, we got the Dirty Bird, Tim Means against Max Payne Griffin.
This is gonna be a good fight.
I think I love the price here. I love Max Griffin here. -150, I think is great value.
Oh wait,
Tim Means. So Tim Means has always been known for his career he's extremely durable and has a granite fucking chin. He's just a tough motherfucker. The last 2 fights though, he got hurt, and I don't know. You call it age, call it whatever. The guy's been around. He's been in wars, and he's always held his own. He's a tough dude. Respected veteran. Yeah, Tim Means is a great fighter. But I don't know. I think he's at a speed disadvantage here. I think he's at a strength disadvantage. I think he's going to get I think he's going to get controlled on the cage. Not in the cage. I'm sorry. You don't want to be on the cage with Tim Means because Tim Means has fucking mean elbows. I think Max Griffin. I think Max Griffin puts it on him. I think Max Griffin striking is much better than Tim Means, and I think he gets it done.
I also think that Max Griffin is going to be winning this fight. I think Tim Means, like, I want to call him old, but like at the same time, he's been here winning fights the whole time. He's not on knees. Like he had a losing streak in 2017, kind of, but since then, he's back and forth or he's winning. Right now, he just had a 3-fight winning streak in 2020 and 2021. I don't know, man. Max Griffin looked really good right when he got to the UFC, though. Oh, wait. Oh, no, he did not. He did not look great when he got to the UFC. But I have liked a lot of what I've seen out of him. And I thought he looked really good in his Neil Magny fight, even though he lost that fight.
He won the first round, definitely, in that fight.
Shit, Max Griffin's basically the same age as Dirty Bird.
Really good reach. And I like his hands. I love Max Griffin's. He's definitely throws hands.
The same too. 77 to 76. Man, who'd you pick? Griffin? I'll take Tim Means.
Go for it. Oh, main event of the evening. What do we have? We got Calvin Kattar against Arnold Allen. Calvin Kattar, this tough-ass fucking dude, one of the toughest guys you'll see. That war with Max Holloway you'll see. Hard to stop Calvin Kattar over fights. Even his last fight against Josh Emmett, took some shots, landed some shots. Tough fight, went all 5 rounds. I'm leaning Arnold Allen here. I think Arnold Allen's known mostly for what? What do you think of Arnold Allen? What do you think of him? If you think of Arnold Allen's fighting style, what do you think?
What do I think of?
Yeah, just not knowing much about him. Have you seen him fight or no?
No.
Oh. All right. So if you've seen Arnold, if Arnold Allen, when you see Arnold Allen fight, Arnold Allen, you want to think of him as he's a wrestler. He wrestles. He's a wrestler. He's a really good grappler. You want to say guys from Britain can't wrestle? Well, Arnold Allen can fucking wrestle. Arnold Allen can wrestle. I think also, I've seen his striking, and his striking to me is really good. It's good. Does he knock everybody out? No. Because like we said, the guy's a grappler. He wants to get you down and he wants to choke you out. That's how he wins. Arnold Allen hasn't lost a fight in 8 years. The guy's just really good. I don't know. Arnold Allen fucked Dan Hooker up. I know Dan Hooker's hot and cold, but it's hard to fuck Dan Hooker up. Dan Hooker's a pretty good striker. It's hard.
Dan Hooker's really good.
Yeah, it's hard to fuck Dan Hooker up in a striking match, and Arnold Allen fucked him up fast too. At some point, Arnold Allen made the decision I'm going to throw down with this guy, and Dan Hooker's all about that, and Arnold Allen fucked him up. He got the bet. I don't know. I think Arnold Allen, this fight opened up Arnold Allen plus 120, which is fine because Calvin Kattar is a, respected veteran. He's really tough and good. I can't think of a time where Kattar went 5 rounds with a wrestler, a guy that can wrestle for this caliber. I think Arnold Allen is going to have a big advantage here as the fight goes on.
The guy he just fought, that Kattar just fought, Josh Emmett.
Josh Emmett. That fight was on the feet. Josh Emmett. I don't know Josh Emmett. I don't think of Josh Emmett as a wrestler personally. I've seen him always fight on the feet.
I'm pretty sure there was a bunch of takedown attempts in that fight. I know go to the ground.
Kattar definitely Kattar definitely stunned a lot of people though when he won against Giga. Like that was people weren't expecting him to win that fight. Yeah, I don't like
4 takedown attempts in that fight.
all of his like Josh Emmett's a tough dude, but like against Ige, that fight was on the feet. Burgos feet. Kattar, I don't remember that fight was all on the feet. Knocked out Michael Johnson. Yeah, he's a knockout. Like most of his wins are knockouts. They're not like I don't see him as
That's
a
for
fight.
him. Yeah, he prefers to do his fighting on the feet, but his style is rooted in his wrestling. It's rooted around that level change and that overhand, and tying those two things together.
Yeah, okay. It might be. I mean, R. Allen is too. If he fights the whole time. I don't. I'm not big on age and like saying a guy like your time has passed. I don't really think that has much. It has something to do with it, but until you physically see guys slow down, like Calvin Kattar's still fighting at a high level at 34, even though he's been in some wars. I I just don't know. I feel like he's not going to have an answer for what Arnold Allen has. So I got Arnold Allen
a pretty good
winning this
wrestler.
fight. I think he wins it convincingly.
Who has Arnold Allen fought as far as takedown defense, though? Like
Nobody. He's the wrestler.
Yeah, but like Sadiq Yusuf's takedown defense is 70%, which is good, but not stellar.
Yeah, Allen gave him. They were both on the. I think Allen gave him his first loss that fight. Nick Lentz is a wrestler,
and he only attempted to take Nick Lentz down one time, and Nick Lentz attempted 9 against him. Gilbert Melendez, almost no takedowns there. Mads Burnell took him down 6 of 12 times.
Calvin Kattar is not taking down Arnold Allen and controlling him.
He's not in controlling him. No, that's not Kelvin's style. But Kelvin does take people down.
Not lately.
He took down Giga. He didn't attempt to take down Josh Emmett. Let's see. Did he attempt any takedowns? He attempted to take down Max Holloway, but didn't get any time. He took down Dan Ige. He uses it pretty regularly. He's got a good wrestler. Like he also comes from wrestling.
Yeah. He doesn't.
I went into this thinking Allen was gonna win, was gonna walk through this, and I still wouldn't be surprised if, like, I think Allen's on his way up. I think Allen's gonna knock on that door. But for some reason, I just get this feeling that I should be picking Kattar right now.
Do it.
So I will.
Oh boy, it's going for it. I hear. Is that V?
Yeah.
All right. If you're busy, so if you're busy, I just want to add it to Jake Paul Anderson Silva. But if we got to end the show because you think it's fine. But who you got? Jake Paul Anderson Silva, real quick.
That's a disgusting question. How dare you even consider putting?
Hello, V.
Silva, dude. Like what?
Well, then here, okay, and then I got V is joining the show. Hello, V. You remember Mr. John?
Who you got?
Oh my God, you got big. You got so big. You got so big and skinnier. You're losing weight. What's your secret? Nice hair.
Mija.
Silva. Say hi.
Silva. Nice job, dude.
So I agree with you. Anderson Silva is an amazing striker. Like the guy is just, and he's done really good things in his 2 boxing fights. Jake Paul opened up a betting favorite at -200. Anderson Silva went to -150 from an underdog. So he went from like a +175 underdog to a minus. He went to the favorite. And now Jake Paul is back at about -200 as of the last week or two.
Wait. Jake Paul's the favorite?
He opened the favorite. Everyone bet Anderson Silva, so sharp money that everyone bet as they should. You bet Anderson Silva, and now Jake Paul all of a sudden has been getting a ton of money and is the favorite again. And I couldn't figure out why. I was like, oh my god, like like is this going to be a rigged ass fight with like Showtime's backing Jake Paul? Like like you can't bet it. And then I found out today that there was 2 videos of Anderson Silva leaked. He got knocked out in training with like headgear on and shit, like knocked out cold. And he issued a statement actually saying how bogus that was. Let me see here. Commission. Okay, so I think let me read this before I speak. So the fight is in Arizona. So since those videos leaked, the Arizona Boxing Commission, they're calling an emergency meeting to think like, can this guy actually fight?
Hello.
He says that he misspoke. He exaggerated normal back and forth action that happens in sparring.
Yeah, so I think they let them go through with the event,
The sparring session that was referenced was in early September.
A 3rd and 36th.
What?
Daddy, Mama.
Daddy, Mama.
Hey, Silva? Not you. All right.
I don't think.
Yeah,
regardless,
I'm taking Silva because he's Anderson Silva, and this is
I don't. I don't. I knew that. Like, Evander Holyfield fought. Fuck, it was like 2 summers ago. Evander Holyfield stepped in the ring at like 56 to fight Brazilian monster, the guy that had John Jones in the armbar but never finished it and then got knocked out. Who am I thinking of? Light heavyweight. Huh?
Vitor Belfort.
Yes, he fought in a boxing match, and I saw that the line opened up like Vitor Belfort was minus 150. I was like, what? I was like, I bet every penny I could, which isn't much because people don't take Vitor Belfort's going to crush this guy. And yeah, it went to like minus 500, and he knocked him through the ropes. But I was, stop this fight. Like, Evander Holyfield can't fight anymore. He can barely throw punches. Like, and I don't think Anderson Silva's anywhere near that level. I don't think so. I don't think he's just going to go in there and get knocked out like that by Jake Paul. I don't think Jake Paul has that kind of talent. I mean, he's definitely better than people think, but can he just crush Anderson?
Can you get out of my face, please?
No, let it stay.
Yeah, but she just put her head in between me and the camera.
That's all right.
And was talking into my mouth. She's
a star. She's a star in the making. Look.
Anyway, I mean, yeah, like he clearly is dedicated to boxing and is developing, but this is what, his 5th fight? Like,
yeah,
this is a Mitch. This is another mismatch.
Yeah, I don't think he has the skills to embarrass Silva like Belfort could do to Holyfield for a bunch of reasons. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't think that's possible. I don't think Silva's that strong.
100% Vitor Belfort should win that fight against Holyfield. Well, actually,
no, Holyfield, he has no business being in there. Like, it was terrible. Yeah. It was like, please stop it. Like, you could tell right away.
I knew it was gonna happen. Did it happen?
Yes, I told people that was the only time I felt disgusting winning money. Like, I felt gross inside. Like, oh my god, like someone just beat up an old man. Like, this is gross. Like, this was tough to watch. That was tough to watch. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I know Silva's like he definitely he got knocked out by Uriah Hall, but I don't think Jake Paul can knock him out in a boxing match. We'll see. All right, you got Silva. This is fun. It doesn't count for anything. You got Silva. I'll take Paul just for fun. It doesn't count for anything except just thing. But we'll see. All right, we'll see what happens.
Oh.
That's all we got, guys. Please, if you enjoy the content, like, share, comment, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts. We're here.
Excitement every time. Thank you for being here.
Peace.